Hey guys, what's going on? It's DJ TLM. You're watching DJ TLM TV, and right here I have my all-time favorite mixer, Pioneer's DJM909. Now this bad boy has seen a lot of venues, stages, and countries, and I absolutely love it. But recently, Pioneer announced a brand new mixer, and this has me very excited. Check it out. This has been my favorite setup for years. 2 turntables and my DJM909. But since I started using a DVS, I did notice that there were a couple of things that were missing from the mixer. Now Pioneer DJ comes in with the DJM-S9, and this could be the mixer that I've been looking for. Meet the DJM-S9, Pioneer DJ's first 2-channel battle mixer for Serato DJ. The fully customizable Magvel Pro crossfader, tactile performance pads, and FX buttons let you tailor the mixer according to your personal preference. 2 USB sound cards make this the ultimate plug-and-play Serato DJ mixer. Play back-to-back with other DJs seamlessly using the input switcher on top to switch between all 4 Serato DJ decks. And if you prefer to play with CDJs or turntables, you can easily do so thanks to DVS support. When we look at the in and outputs of the DJM-S9, we have 4 RCA inputs, 2 phono, 2 line. We have 1 mic input, and that's an XLR jack combo, and you have an extra auxiliary input, and that's an RCA input. As far as the output goes, you have 2 master outputs, 1 XLR, 1 RCA, 1 1/4-inch jack booth output, and of course, because the DJM-S9 has the 2 sound cards on the back, we find the 2 USB-B ports. The front panel of the DJM-S9 is also packed with a lot of different options to customize your settings. When it comes to the crossfader, you can adjust the curve, you can adjust the feeling, and you also have a reverse switch. Now the channel faders have a curve setting and a reverse switch, and 2 headphone monitor outputs where you have a 1/4-inch jack and a mini pin. There's also quite a few options for the microphone on the front panel because you have a high and low EQ, you can adjust the level and an echo, and you have a talk over on-off switch, and of course the microphone on-off switch. As far as the auxiliary, you can only adjust the level. A full list of all the specifications will be in the description box below. Pioneer proved with the DJM909 that they can make an impressive scratch mixer. Now let's see if they can do it once again with the DJM-S9. So here it is, guys, the brand new DJM-S9. I really like the way this mixer looks. I like the layout. As you can tell, it has a lot of functions, but it's not chaotic. Everything has its logical place. And this is a club mixer. It's a Serato DJ mixer and a scratch mixer. And you can tell by looking at the bottom part, everything around the crossfader has been kept clean. So when you're doing your turntablism thing, you're not going to bump into any switches or knobs, so that really helps. At the top in the middle, you have your EQ section with your highs, your mids, and your lows. Now the only thing I did have to get used to is that all the mixers I normally use have to trim the gain above the EQ section. And of course, as you can tell, there's not enough space above the EQ on this mixer to put the trim there, so they had to put it on the side. It took me a second to get used to that, but it's definitely not a problem. Now over here you have your selection, so you can switch your input, CD, line, or phono. And right now I have this one on phono because I have some normal vinyl here. And you can also use it to select which USB you're using and which of the 4 decks in Serato DJ you want to control. But I'll get into that in a minute. Over here you have your dedicated filter knobs with your low pass and high pass filter. And these will always work, not just with Serato. Whatever you have connected, it will always work. Now these 2 sections here with the browsing and the auto loops are for Serato DJs. Let's talk about the effects section. Now the effects section has been split into 2 sections. On this side you have the Serato DJ side for the Serato effects, and on that side you have the beat effects, and those are internal effects. These always work. You have an echo, backspin, flanger, reverb, vinyl break, and phaser. And the one you select is blinking, so you can always tell which one you selected. But you can also take a look at the LED screen in the middle and it will show you which effect is selected. And that works for the internal effects and for the Serato DJ effects. And over here you can change the parameters and you can see the settings inside. So you can see it's on half a beat, switch it to 3/4, 1 beat, and so forth. You can also see the BPM for the track. So in this case, it's on that side. For the real vinyl, I tap the BPM, but you can also use the auto BPM when you're playing with Serato DJ. Now, of course, you notice the big switches that you have right here, and you use these to activate the effect that you selected. So right now it's on, and it's blinking, so you can always tell that it's on, even in a low light situation. But you can also tap it down and it will only stay activated as long as you hold it down. So this is perfect for performances. If you want to have a short trigger for your effect, you can just tap it or hold it and control it just the way you want it to sound. Of course, you can control the level right here in the knob in the middle. And that's it for the normal effect mixer functions. So let me show you a quick example of how to use the effects with normal vinyl. Right here, this is not Serato vinyl, this is normal actual vinyl. This is a song by my man Brainpower featuring PMD from EPMD. Here's the sound. Now I'm going to activate echo. I'll turn that on. Now we have an echo. Same for the reverb. Flanger. Just adjust that parameter, bring the level back down again, and back up. And the cool thing is, if I use the switch to trigger it just for a second, let me go back to the echo. So you can choose to let that echo just affect one single sound. So in this case, I'm going to use it to trigger one snare. Only on that last snare. Same for the reverb. You get the idea. This can be a lot of fun during a live performance set. Right here we have the performance pads section, and normally with a lot of controllers and also some mixers, the performance pads are used to trigger functions inside the Serato DJ software. So of course in this case I have Serato DJ active, and you can already tell that over here I have some cue points with different colors. So on this side I have my normal vinyl selected, and you can see that the color has changed. Everything is green on this side. And that is because you can use the performance pads even if you're using normal CDs or a normal piece of vinyl. And you can use these to control the parameters of the effect that you have selected, the normal effects that are inside the mixer. This always works. Now what that means is if I trigger an echo, I can activate it by pressing these pads. And once you press it, it starts to blink so you know that it is activated. All these different pads are different beat length. This is 1 beat, half a beat, quarter beat. So you can control the different parameters by using the pads. So that's pretty cool that you can use the pads that are accessible when you're not using Serato DJ. Now, as I mentioned before, down here you have the fader section. It's nice and clean for the scratch DJs, and the turntablists. You have the channel faders with a very nice feel, and you have the special Magvel Fader Pro fader, and I really like the feel. You can change how heavy the fader feels. Right now it's heavy, and if I turn it all the way here, you can tell it'll just bounce straight back. Now I'll turn it back to the heavy part again, and it's not bouncing at all. So now we move back to the effects section, and this time we're going to take it to the right side. This is the Serato DJ side, and over here you have these 6 different effects you can select. And you can choose between all the effects inside Serato DJ, so you can customize this to your liking. Now, one pretty cool thing is these 2 little buttons that you have right here. You have your sampler effects and you have your auxiliary effects. Now, what this means is that you can select any effect from the Pioneer mixer or from Serato DJ, and with these buttons, you can activate that effect and it will put that effect over the sampler or anything that you have connected to the auxiliary input. So for instance, if you have an extra CD player connected to your mixer, you can use this to put an effect over that CD. Or even if you have your phone connected as a backup, you can use this to put the effect over that phone or whatever else you have connected. Now, of course, for anyone familiar with most of the modern day controllers, these are the performance pads. You have 8 performance pads per channel, and over here, you can select the different pad modes. You have 4 buttons for pad modes with 4 secondary functions underneath, and you can access those by holding Shift and clicking on the button. So you have your hot cue, roll, slicer, and sampler. You have your cue loop, saved loop, slicer loop, and sampler loop. I really like the size of these performance pads. I mean, you don't have a lot of real estate, but they still made them a nice size. I'm not going to demonstrate all the different pad modes right now. If you really want me to do this, let me know in the comments section and I'll do a separate video, but I don't want to make this video too long. So after reviewing it for a couple of days, I can say that I'm truly impressed by the DJM-S9. It has great build quality, great audio, a ton of functionality, and I love the fact that you could customize just about every setting. This mixer would work for anyone. It doesn't matter if you're a club DJ, a digital DJ, a turntablist, the DJM-S9 will perform great in any of those circumstances. I had a lot of fun reviewing this unit and it definitely lived up to my expectations. So guys, I hope this gives you a little more insight into the capabilities of the DJM-S9, and I can say right now without a doubt that this is my new favorite mixer. I love it. Love the functionality, love the fader, and I can't wait to start using this bad boy all over the place. If you have any questions about this, you can always reach me at DJTLMTV at DJTLM.com. If you enjoyed this info, click that thumbs up, share the video, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and I will be back soon. Also with a couple more videos featuring this guy right here. Peace.